Brodie. So, Frank Ocean is a black and bisexual alternative singer-songwriter known mostly for R&B with fusions of hip-hop and pop into his music, too. He was born in Long Beach, California, but he moved to New Orleans, Louisiana in 1987 when he was 3, and that's where he grew up his entire childhood until he was 18. When he was growing up in New Orleans, he faced homophobia and grew up with a very set view of masculinity, of toxic masculinity. He was taught that men shouldn't show feelings or anything, and so that's how he grew up knowing. He also grew up Christian, and he listened to a bunch of hip hop and R&B music, which influenced most of his present day music. So in this presentation, I'll be analyzing how Frank Ocean's bisexual, Southern, and Black identity and culture are expressed through his lyrics from his 2 albums, Blonde and Channel Orange. So, how Frank Ocean expresses his bisexual and Southern identity. So, a big way he shows himself as bisexual is through the themes of duality in his music, especially Blonde. As you can see in the actual album is called Blonde, as in BOLNDE. However, in the album cover, it shows BLOND, so this is showing contradicting messages, 2 different things, kind of showing 1 that he's bisexual, and 2 he is 2 of his identities, the ones he wants to show, and then 1 he is hiding or something to his Southern and how he was raised, how it's not widely accepted there. And another way that he uses duality is from the song Pretty Sweet. The lyric goes, "We know you're sugar, we know you're sweet like a sucker, pretty sweet, pretty sweet." So, if in the South, if you were to call someone sweet, that is usually just a way to say someone is gay without calling someone gay. And so yeah, that shows he's from his Southern. And then another version of duality here is in the words "sweet like a sucker." So this could either be a compliment, calling someone sweet, you're sweet and cool, or it can be an insult, calling someone a sucker, which, yeah. So it's kind of showing multiple reactions from people finding out his sexuality, and part of it in the double, yeah. Another way he shows his bisexuality is in the song Chanel. The lyric goes, "My guy pretty like a girl, and he got fight stories to tell. I see both sides like Chanel, I see on both sides like Chanel." So obviously in this scene, he's describing a man he's in love with, being in reference to his bisexuality. With "my guy pretty like a girl." And then another more themes of duality with the Chanel logo. The Chanel logo is 2 C's, identical C's interlocking, representing 2 things, just one and the other interlocking. His Black identity. So he does this in a lot of ways, and these 4 were the big ones I could think of. So this one from the song Nikes off of Blonde, it's "Pour up for ASAP, rip Pimp C, rip Trayvon, that N-words look just like me." So ASAP Yams and Pimp C are 2 people referring to in this quote, and they're both black musicians who died of overdose. And Trayvon was a black teenager who was shot by police, catalyzing into the Black Lives Matter protest. And so he's saying, obviously in a reference to alluding to his race, he's saying, "Oh, these people, they look just like me. This could have happened to me. I could have just been shot by the police, yeah." And then another thing is the N-word in that lyric. So yeah, the N-word is obviously a very insulting slur, but it's been reclaimed by black people to refer to other black people, and it's by saying this word he is identifying himself as a black man. Another one is from the song Pyramids off of Channel Orange, which is a song that makes a lot of references to ancient Egypt. And so got rubies in my damn chain, weapon got no gas tank, but it still got wood grain. So rubies were a sign in ancient Egypt showing that you were wealthy or a very high class. And so he's referring to himself as, "Oh, I come from royalty in Egypt, showing off his race and how he sees himself. And then whip is a piece of like slang from hip hop in the 90s referring to a car, showing to be commonly used by black people, showing his black identity. Another one is solo that I can admit from the solo that I can admit when I hear that another kid is shot by the popo. It ain't even an event no more. So this is another line about racial profiling and police brutality, talking about how black people experience police brutality a lot. And so it's like happening so much that him as a black man, even when this is happening, he's just desensitized by it because it's happening so much. And popo is another slang for that means police, referring to him as a black man. The next lyric is from Crack Rock off of Channel Orange. You're shucking and jiving, stealing and robbing to get the fixing that you're itching for. Your family stopped inviting you, things won't let you hold their infant. So your shucking and jiving is a tradition done by slaves who was done by slaves to entertain their masters. And so yeah, that's like, he's showing off these words by showing that he's a black man. And so this is a line referring to drugs, which are also stereotypically and categoristically done by black people. In conclusion, Frank Ocean is one of my favorite artists of all time, and a big part of the reason I like him is the way he shows his black, bisexual, and southern identity in his songwriting, albums, and music. You can easily tell his influences from just listening up to his music, and that's just a big reason why I like him.